It's really important, whether you have a small business or whether you are an independent contractor, to have the right virtual office, right? But in today's conversation, what I want to do here is I want to talk to you about the key features that you need to always find in a virtual mail office. Like if somebody's just trying to pitch to you, oh, I want you to come to our virtual mail office, our virtual office, and they don't have those features that I will be talking about in today's conversation, you want to get as fast away as possible. Okay. So before we actually get into the nitty gritty, let's have an overview here. What is a virtual office? Let's just go back to the origins here, so to speak. So a virtual office is really an alternative to a traditional office, offering many of the same benefits and services of leasing or owning a brick and mortar workspace or building at a price point that may work better for some small and growing businesses, including startups. So if you're listening to me right now, you're a startup owner, you might be interested, okay? So owners and employees can work from home or wherever they like, while maintaining the image of conducting business from a business office or business address and enjoying the support of business services without the actual cost. Okay, it's a very long definition, but this is exactly what it is. By the way, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate having you here. And as we're talking about virtual office, we're trying to really understand what is it? Why should you choose a virtual office? Well, number one, that's the cost, right? We're not trying to really beat around the bush. Cost is a primary element here. You have to really think about how much does it cost you. If you are a startup, things are already complicated. You're trying to really make payroll. You're trying to pay vendors. You're trying to pay utilities, whatever. So if you can actually get away with the rent, like leasing, this is kind of cool, right? So cost is kind of cool too. You have the reputation. So like you cannot afford to have a virtual office at a very prestigious street address, but so if you are able to have a virtual business address, you can really actually, you're actually lending to your business the credibility you desire with the flexibility of working remotely. So you don't have to show up at work, but you have a whole organization that takes care of it for you. Okay. You also have professionalism. That's another advantage that a virtual office has. Okay. You also have the fact that you have an answering or receptionist service. So somebody has to call you. If a client is calling you, you don't have to hire a virtual assistant. They'll take care of that for you. Let me talk a little bit about the added value. So basically, you also have some value that has been added. So if you were to go with a virtual office, you really have some added value. The thing here is that besides pricing, you also have to think about the fact that you might meet some people, right? It's all about just like, meeting people, trying to really keep overhead low, but also networking. This is really important, especially if you are in the same industry. This is kind of cool, right? By the way, let me just quickly remind you of today's topic. Though this video, we're talking about 10 features a virtual office must absolutely have. If it doesn't have it, I want you to really run as fast away as possible. Don't even look back. Okay. Now, let me talk to you about the types of spaces that can be rented. And whether you're to a startup or to a sole proprietorship, to a digital nomad, to a small business trying to cut costs, there are a lot of spaces. But you have things like conference rooms. So conference rooms for groups, both small and large. You have furnished day offices, and you have private furnished office suites. So conference rooms for groups, both in small and large, these are typically equipped with the Wi-Fi access, video technology, and complementary local or long distance calling. Okay. Then you have furnished day offices for hourly or daily use. So you can rent those on a daily basis or hourly basis. Sometimes we have some people who even rent this on a weekly basis. So this is kind of cool. So you have you have all the amenities, like the regular amenities. You have an office or at a co-working space, for example, right? You have Wi-Fi access to equipment such as printers and scanner, and access to a kitchen or a pantry. Okay. While advanced bookings is available, walk-ins are often accepted. And then you have the private furnished office suites. So those many virtual offices offer flexible plans to accommodate a growing business's needs. Now, so it really depends on your business and where you are at in your operational growth, right? So whether a company needs one executive office space or let's say a private suite with multiple offices, a virtual office, what we have seen in our research is that a virtual office can really help because it has all the features that you need, such as on-site management. This is really cool. You have admin support, You have 24/7 access to the space. This is really important. You have flexible terms. This is kind of cool also. And so this is really good. Now, let me talk to you about the features that a virtual office should have. Okay. This is really important. So here are the pro tips I really want you to pay attention to. Very important. The very first thing you want to really look at when you are thinking about a virtual office, you need to have a physical business address. I don't care if they're charging you $1 per day or $1,000. If they don't have a physical business address, don't buy. Very important. Like geography is really important. Like if you go on Google Maps, you need to be able to locate the office. Okay. It has to be something that is visible through Google Maps. If you have, let's say, some kind of, like a drone, you should be able to see exactly that the office is there. This is really important. Don't play with this. Okay. Because sometimes we have some scammers who are trying to sell virtual offices to clients, and they actually, have like very nice, they go on Google, they take pictures and they actually, sell those images, but the actual offices do not exist. So be very careful here. You need like a virtual office, a legit one must have, and I insist, must have a physical business address. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about 10 features a virtual office must absolutely have. So the first thing is a physical business address. Second thing is mail and package collection. All right. So basically the virtual office should have I would say like a system, a process or a mechanism in place internally whereby they actually will collect mail and packages on your behalf. Because see, the thing is, once you actually rent the office, you're going to have your mail and packages directed to that office, right? So they need to have a mail room, or they need to have some kind of system in place to be able to accommodate their lessees. And you are going to be their lessees. You are going to be their clients. So this is really important because at the end of the day, once you have a virtual office and you kind of communicate that to your clients, to your business partners, people will be sending you official correspondence. Okay. Because they'll be thinking, well, this is where you work. This is your office. But if you don't get the mail, if you don't get the packages appropriately and on time, this could be very detrimental to your business. So be very careful here in trying to, when it comes to choosing a virtual office, make sure, number one, they have a virtual business address. A physical business address. Number two, they have mail and package collection. Number three, they need to have mail forwarding services. Okay. This is really important. Why? Because, I mean, you might probably, like you're sitting home right now, you're listening to me, and you have a virtual office, and let's say at location X. So your mail comes to location X. Okay. But you are sitting home at location Y. But you're telling your clients that you are working from location X. So they're sending you packages. Okay. And you don't want to go to location X because location X is like 1,000 kilometers from where you live right now, location Y. So you need to have mail forwarding, boss. You need to have mail forwarding. The virtual office that you are going to rent, make sure they have a system in place where they'll be able to redirect mail that's coming to you to your final destination. What we have seen here is that some virtual offices, they promise to do a mail forwarding, but they don't do it. Like you start paying them and they start playing games with you. What you have to do is make sure that you have a contract that is written and you read the contract. It has to be clear that they are actually offering mail forwarding so that if they don't do it, you know they are breaching the clauses of the contract clauses and you can sue them. Very important. You can sue their asses. Don't even try to really forgive. Don't be forgiving at all. Because we've seen a lot of scammers in the industry. I mean, there are some big names, but you also have a bunch of scammers. So be very clear about that. The number four thing that you need to have, absolutely, make sure they have a receptionist answering and or voicemail set of services. Because again, you're telling your clients you have a virtual office. People will be calling you. There has to be somebody to answer the phone. If you're working from home and you don't want to redirect the call to your cell phone or whatever to your home address, there has to be a system in place where you have a receptionist that takes all the calls and will send you an email or even call you. So you need to have this sort of a intermediary, like middleman or middlewoman kind of person, so that you know that, hey, listen, your calls, because see, the thing is, your calls, your packages, your mails, all those things must actually go through someone. Someone must really process them before they get to you. Okay, so when we talk about mail forwarding, we're talking about receptionists, we're talking about answering or voicemail services. Make sure that you have those. It's really important. Number 5, you need to have access to furnished meeting rooms and day use office, bookable in increments. Let me just repeat that. You got to have access to furnished meeting rooms and day use office, bookable increments. Let's sort of dissect this long sentence, okay? So sorry. The meeting rooms must be furnished. This is really important. Like, you don't want to sit your ass on something that is really like, some kind of uncomfortable stuff. And I'm not even talking about yourself. I mean, for you, it's okay. But think about your clients. Think about the image that you are trying to project. Like, you are like all suited up, all in suit, whatever. And then your clients are there and you just realize that the meeting room is not really furnished. Okay. So it must be furnished. And now, so that's the part of the meeting room. What about the day use office? Now, the day use office must be something that you can book in increments, like 1 hour or 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Okay. If they have like, you can only book it for a day, that's not good, because they will be wasting your time and money for nothing. Because the importance of a virtual office is to actually have this incremental use of a shared office, right? So you just need it for 2 hours because you just need to meet clients there. You're not working there. That's why it's called a virtual office. You're not working there. So just make sure that you can book this in increments. Number 6, make sure that you have a private furnished office or suite rentals. Okay. I'm not saying that they should have it automatically, but hey, listen, if you want to up your game, let's say you have an important client and you just realize that, listen, this is important. I can't really play the same game I usually play. Now I have to do things for real. Okay. Then you have to have access to a private furnished office, or you have to be able to even rent a suite. Okay. It really depends on the clients, right? Everybody knows what it is. If you're working on important clients, you're trying to impress the clients, or you're trying to have an office that really matches your logo or your branding in general, then you really, we all live in a world where we know appearance is everything. Appearance is everything. I don't care what people are telling you. Don't listen to them. First impression counts. If your clients looks at you as somebody organized, somebody who really has access to a nice office, who can really receive people, your clients will be more willing to work with you than if you were just like having a cheap ass office that is not furnished, okay, and that really you are looking around and you realize they don't even have a private suite. So make sure you have that. The next thing I want you to really think about is to have access to office equipment such as printers, scanners, and fax machines. Yeah. I know you're probably thinking, well, we live in a world right now where I don't need a printer. Okay, you do need a printer. Or I don't need a fax machine. You do need a fax machine. Or I don't need office equipment. You do need office equipment. You know why? Because not everybody, including your clients, have moved to the digital phase yet. You probably have everything digital. Okay, but what if your clients are old school? Who cares anyway, right? You'll be saying, well, I care. You care. You should care, because basically if your clients are old school and you happen to be all like, I'm all new school, whatever, you will lose the deal. You will lose the deal, and don't you come here and cry your ass and say, well, I lost the deal, blah, 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 blah. No. You need to really accommodate your clients. Okay. This is why, even though some people are really doing away with fax machines, whatever, there are some people nowadays who are still using fax machines. They haven't moved to the email revolution yet. They haven't moved to the digital revolution yet. So please, boss, make sure that you have that. Okay. You got to have on-site access to a kitchen and or storage space when renting a physical space. This is important. You got to have a pantry. You got to have some kind of a system where you can go for a coffee break. You can go to kind of like, fix yourself a little food or whatever, like, the pizza that your grandmother just fixed for you last night or whatever. You need to have that, okay? Because the whole thing is you can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to order in. But what if the area There are no like takeout or take in whatever in terms of food. Like you can't really call them. Like Uber is not going to the place where to the geography where your office, your private office or your virtual office is located. So be very careful here. I want you to really plan things in advance and make sure that they have the storage space. Okay. And don't let them play games with you. Like again, what I'm trying to say here is that if they say something, you don't want to see pictures. You want to see videos. You want to see videos. Don't accept pictures because pictures can be photoshopped. Okay. I can take a picture right now and just make myself look like the Queen, late Queen Elizabeth. All right. So you don't want to take the pictures. You want to have videos and even better, you want to have a live call with the officers of that space, of that virtual office, so they can walk you through a video. Number 9, you need to have digital services like Wi-Fi access, teleconferencing, VoIP, like voice over IP, or local and long distance calling, website domains, and cloud services. Like this is like the basic. Okay. We are in the 21st century here. And, you can't be like, arguing about Wi-Fi. This is just kind of crazy. Imagine you have an important presentation. Your client is there. You are about to sign a $1 million contract. And here we are. You are discussing access to internet. Come on, boss. Come on. Don't let them play that game with you. Okay. If they don't have Wi-Fi access, if they don't have teleconferencing, if they don't have VoIP over IP, if they don't have some kind of, website, like they need to have cloud services. They need to have those tech services. Okay. Now, I will be a little bit more lenient on the cloud services because it's a good extra. If they have it, it's fine. But they need to have Wi-Fi. And I'm talking about Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi access, because you're paying them every day. You're paying them every month already for that service because they've already thought about all this and they have actually applied that to their indirect cost while billing you every single month. Whether you are visiting the place itself or you have never set foot in that place, you're still paying for it anyway. And the number 10 thing you need to have, the feature you need to have when choosing a virtual office, is to have flexible and cost-effective membership options or pricing tiers. Okay. Don't let them try to really razzle dazzle you with a confusing pricing plan or whatever. No. They have to be really clear. They have to be very transparent about what they're charging you for. Okay. Don't let them again try to confuse the hell out of you by using terms like things you don't really understand. What's up with that? They do this a lot. Okay. Because you do have legit companies. Let me break it down this way. You have legit companies, and then you have some players out there who think they're really so smart. They're trying to confuse the hell out of clients, okay? And they come up with that terminology it's just crazy. So be clear that they need to have cost-effective, transparent membership options or pricing tiers. And everything must be clear. Like, it has to be really clear. Like, nothing that is really simple should not be made complicated. No, tell me how much am I paying and what am I paying for? That's all. I ain't trying to really have a discussion about, trying to cross sell stuff to me or upsell me, whatever. No, just tell me the basic stuff, the intermediary and the VIP, I would say tiers, and that's it. Case closed. You just either you like it or you don't like it. That's it. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about the top 10 features a virtual office must absolutely have. Okay. So I talked to you about the overview, and then I shared a few pro tips with you. And so you need to have, number 1, you got to have like a physical business address. 2, mail and package collection. 3, mail forwarding. Number 4, receptionist services. 5, meeting rooms. 6, private furnished office. 7, office equipment, printers, and the like. 8, on-site access to a kitchen or pantry. 9, digital services, like I'm talking about Wi-Fi, teleconferencing, and whatever. Okay. Number 10, flexible and cost-effective membership pricing. Thank you. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.